Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Hey, you know what? Been getting this question a little bit more from women asking about single dads and dating, and I deal with a lot of questions around this because really, when it comes down to co-parenting, and for the single dads, this is what you really have to understand this. Like, I understand as a man how we're built as men, how we don't really fall in love easy. We don't open up easy. We don't express ourselves easily. We close off our hearts. We close off our hearts. It's hard for people to get in. We don't trust easy. But there's one area where you got to move different as a man, and that's with your children. With your children, you have to be the lamb. See, inside of every man, there's a lion and there's a lamb. You have to be the lamb with your child. And what I mean by that, I don't mean by being a pushover. I don't mean let them do whatever they want to do, but this is the space where you really got to grow. If nothing else has made you grow in your life, if your job, your career, your profession hasn't made you grow, I deal with a lot of pro athletes. You would think playing at the highest level will make somebody grow as a man. Not necessarily. Some do, some don't. Some do, most don't. But if your job doesn't make you grow, if your mother couldn't make you grow, your father couldn't make you grow, your girlfriend, your fiance, your wife couldn't make you grow, the one thing as a man that should make you grow up, is your child. Because guess what? You brought that child into the world. So by you sleeping with your child's mother, you created that. You started that. It all started from you. The mother, she couldn't do it on her own. She couldn't start the process. You started the process. The child comes from your loins. So you have to understand that. So your child did not ask to be here. So when it comes to you being single and you're dating around, you're looking around for your next girlfriend, or you got a girlfriend or fiance, or you remarried, or you getting ready to get married, or looking for your wife, understand this. You brought that child in the world. That's your first priority. The child that you bring into the world first, your first children. See, a lot of times what men do is you ignore your first child, first two, three child, your first children from this woman, and then you take care of the next woman's children. No, you can't do that. Especially now if the next woman's children are not yours. It's a lot of men who taking care of another man's children but neglecting their own children. You can't do that. All for the box, all for the woman you sleeping with, and she got your head gone, and she got you thinking that it's your duty to take care of her kids that she had with another man, while you neglect, and she reinforced and she encouraged you to continue neglecting your kids. Come on now, bro. You got to see between that. You got to be able to read between the lines. And listen to me. It's about your kids. It's not about your child's mother. It's not about their mother. Because what you got to remember as a man is that you chose her. You chose to lie down with her. Ain't nobody put a gun to your head and tell you to lie down. You chose to lie down with her. Is she crazy? You chose her. Did you help make her crazy? Or was she crazy when you met her? All right. So if you call her crazy, I'm not saying she's crazy. I'm saying if you call her crazy, whatever that may mean to you, yelling, screaming, cursing, slicing tires, busting windows, why is she doing that? Is it because of your actions, or is it because of what her ex did? And why did you ignore the red flags? If it was just all on her and you were innocent bystander in this situation. So regardless of how it happened, what happened, it's not about her. It's about your children. And so if you got to kiss her behind, you got to send her whatever child support say send her, or whatever dollar amount she need, send it to her. If you got it, send it to her. Send it to her. Keep the receipt. Keep the receipt. Send it to her in a money order. She don't want a money order? Hey, here go a check. You want a money order check? I can't mail you cash. We don't get along enough for me to see you in person. If none of that don't work, put in the time, that overtime, go get your family attorney. Go get your family attorney to get your visitation. Put yourself on child support. Hold yourself accountable. Put yourself on child support. If she won't let you keep track of the money you giving her and count that, put yourself on child support. Why? So you could be in your child's life. Because listen, it ain't about your ego. It ain't about her ego. It's about your child. It's about your children, because that's your future. That's your lineage. That's your legacy. You could do everything in your life. You could go start a business. You could build a business. You could make 6 figures. You could make 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures, 10 figures. You could be at the height of your life. For most men, it's in their 50s. It's in their 60s when they really hit their season. Because you have accumulated knowledge and wisdom, and you've been pursuing and you've been grinding, and it pays off in the 50s and 60s for most men. So you could be at that season in your life, and your children rise up to say, my daddy ain't worth the lint in your pocket. That's one of the sorriest, most no good men I ever met, ever heard of, ever seen. Your whole everything you done is wiped down the drain now. It's wiped down the drain. If your child rise up to say that, you need to be able to show court documents where you tried to go to court and they mama didn't show up. You need to be able to show receipt after receipt of money orders that you mailed to the house that they were never told that you sent. Check receipts, whatever it is. You need to be able to have a shoebox full of receipts. This is what I tried to do. This the man I am. But see, a lot of men ain't gonna be able to do that. And you got to make sure that you're not one of those men that's gonna skeet and run off. That's gonna bring a child into the world with this woman and then disappear. Because when you do that, guess what? You're gonna reap what you've sown. Ain't nothing in your life gonna go good. You're never going to realize your full potential until you get things right with your children, and until you do what you could do to be in your child's life, until you give it every effort. Now, when you give it every effort and you still don't prevail, you got the receipts to show your efforts. So that when your child come of age, 15, 16, see, your child gonna get to an age to where they're gonna circumvent their mother. They're gonna come find you. You need to make sure your social media is active, that you got a Facebook, you got an Instagram, if you can't get in touch with your children. And it got your first and last name. Don't be over there, little brother 813, Big Blight 605. No, be over there, John Smith, so that your child could come find you. Your child, it's a lot of children today in high school DMing their father on Instagram. Hey, I'm your daughter. Didn't know if you know it, hadn't heard from you, and just want to check and make sure that you my father. I'm your son. It's men being connected with their children after 20 years. I saw a young man connect with his daddy after 24 years or something like that. Embraced the man. Hugged his daddy. Hugged his daddy, forgave his daddy, say, hey, anything I got you could have. That is a child's love for their father, even a father that's been absent. You got to understand that power. You got to understand that influence. You got to understand the position you have in your child's life. And don't be one of them dads that disappear, then your child go and make themselves into something, and then you want to show up. That's what happened with the case I'm talking about. And even in that case, the young man was like, I love you. I miss you. I'm blood of your blood, flesh of your flesh. I understand you had trials and tribulations. I understand what it's like being a man in this world. And you know why? Because that young man struggling with fidelity, struggling to be faithful to his woman, struggling to be a positive role model for his child. He's struggling, but he's struggling because he didn't have the example. So he forgiving his father because he now feel the struggle himself. A lot of kids, when they come into the real world, they're going to start to realize what you were up against. But they also going to be able to tell if you was making excuses. They're going to be able to tell if you was making excuses. Now understand this right here. Ain't nothing. I don't know if you ever felt it or seen it play out. But one thing I realized, don't nothing hurt a man more than what his child say about him. So a lot of men could not care less about what their ex-girlfriend or ex-wife say about them, but what their child say about them, that's one thing a man takes to his grave. And I remember I was working at the highest level. And you know, I'm a life coach. So I became the first life coach in the NBA. And no other NBA team had a life coach other than the team I was working with. And I had been trying to get there for years. I talked to players, hey, do y'all got a life coach? A mentor, team mentor. No, we ain't got that. No, we ain't got that. No, we ain't got that. I talked to guys, all this kind of team. No, we ain't got that. I finally got a call from a team randomly. It was just like me speaking it into existence. Team started following me on Instagram. We connected in Twitter. We connected in Twitter DM. That led to a phone call. That led to them flying me out. Flew me out a few times. And I'm working with the team. You know, this a dream. It's a dream come true for a life coach. No college degree. You know, no mentors, no training. Just God taught, God made, not self-made, God made. So to get to the highest level, to be getting flown around the country, to meet with these players, talk to these players, to be able to go to the Boston Garden, you know, with my team and go out on this hardwood floor, this legendary floor, and stand at half court, to be able to stand in the center of a locker room in all these different arenas, and to be around these guys playing at the highest level as an untrained, uneducated black man in an industry that was made up. This ain't counseling, this ain't therapy. For me to get to that level, I remember I came home. I was gone 3, 4, 5 days a week. And I remember I came home. And I just told this story in another video. I got to tell it again. And I'm driving a Maserati. I was in a Maserati Gran Turismo MC Sport. So it's the highest line of the Maserati GT, Gran Turismo. I mean, pipes just, woo. I mean, gorgeous. You know, $160,000 car. I'm driving my 8-year-old son at that time. He 13 now. I'm driving my 8-year-old son to school. You'd think that's a kid's dream. Driving to school in a Maserati, yeah, that was cool. My son was talking. He was talking non-stop. And all I could think about was my players that I'm working with and just all the stress and everything we dealing with and all the stuff I'm working through with them. And I'm just focused, and I'm like, son, you know, you can relax sometimes, son. You don't have to talk all the time, because I'm preoccupied with work. And my son said to me, he said, Dad, you know, I'm quiet sometimes, but you wouldn't know because you're never home. Boy, look here. Boy, I started crying. I had a couple tears shed on my eye. I called the team. I said, look, I'm done. I got to resign. They said, no, Tony, no, don't do that. Now, don't do that. Just get us through this season. Just get through this season, then we could come up with a different plan. We could move a different way. At the end of that season, I had to resign. And we were going different ways anyway, so it worked out perfectly. I'll never pick up a job like that again, because I realized my legacy is in my children. It ain't just in my work. It's a part of my legacy, my work that I leave behind me that you could come and watch on YouTube when the Lord called me home. That's a part of my legacy. But my legacy is in my children, because what my sons grow up to be, that's a representation of me. Because parenting does matter. Yeah, you can't control everything, but you got a lot of influence. And a lot of times parents don't want to accept that. And as a father, your child grow up and go to prison, you play a part in that. Your child grow up and be a murderer, you played a part in that. Your child grow up and be a sex offender, you played a part in that. Your child grow up and become anything, you played a part of that. You got to accept that, because your child come from you. Your child grow up and 12, 13 years old, your son say, hey, I want to be a girl now. You played a part in that. It ain't just happened. It just wasn't laying in the bed and say, oh, I want to be a girl today. No, you played a part of that. Your absence, your lack of your presence or being there, but not really being there, not really helping your child really talk through their feelings and understand their feelings, but just kind of leaving them to themselves. And then one day they say, hey, you know, I want to change. Whether it be good, bad, ugly, however you see it, you played a part in it. If it's a good thing to you, you played a part in it. If it's a bad thing to you, you played a part in it. That's to each their own. I ain't judge nobody. Don't get it like that. But what I'm saying, what your child do, you played a part in it. You played a part in it. And we got to accept that. But a lot of times parents try to say, no, you could do everything. You could do everything under the sun. You could do everything, and your child still will grow up and do this, that. No, that's what you're telling yourself. But you ain't do everything you could do. You ain't do everything you could do. You ain't give everything. You ain't get the knowledge. You ain't get all the knowledge you could get. You ain't read all the books you could read on parenting. You ain't study as many examples of other people parenting styles. You didn't talk to your kids and listen more than you talk. You ain't do everything you could do. You did what you told yourself you could do because you had to work 3 jobs, 2 jobs. You gave yourself all the explanations, excuses, and reasons of why you couldn't do any more than you could do. You offended that somebody will say you ain't do everything you could do. Oh yeah, you offended. No, you could do more. We just got to look ourselves in the mirror and accept that. And I got to hold myself accountable because, man, I work real hard. And sometimes I get caught up dealing with millions of people online and forget that I got 2 young boys that I'm raising that mean more than all the millions of people that come in contact with my message online. I got 2 young boys I'm raising that mean more than anything. So listen, if you a dad, you a single dad dating. Nah, some dads, you ain't single, you may watch this. Be there for your children. Sacrifice for your children. Put your children first. Children come first. Me and my wife, our children come first because they're dependents. We don't put ourselves before our children. They come, we take care of them. We take care of them. Our anniversary, we at a soccer game because his future matters. We're going to have many anniversaries. His future matters. Our birthdays, we at soccer. We at their events. Anniversary, birthdays, whatever type of holiday, we at their events. It's about them. We're not going to say, no, you're going to miss what you got to do. You're going to miss your soccer game. And this his dream to be a pro soccer player. You're going to miss your elite level travel team soccer game so that we could celebrate our anniversary. No, our anniversary, that's just a day. We could celebrate the day before. We could celebrate the day after. We could celebrate it next week. This about our children. We sacrifice. We sacrifice as parents. My wife, from the time when my son hit 3 years old, she took him out of the daycare system, which is always a hot mess. He came home one time doing like this, and she said, got to go. Got to go. Taking him out of there. She said something to him and he said, Pew! And she said, I'm taking him out of that daycare. And she went to a private Christian school and she said, listen, y'all got anything for kids this age? They said, yeah, we got this preschool 3. What it's going to cost? Price was way out of there. They brought it all the way down. We ain't had no money. She got probably an 80% discount. Boom, we put them in there. We focus on our kids. God honored that. My son started to develop. He started to grow. Had to work through some issues, from being at them hood daycares. Had to work through some issues of learning the wrong stuff and not being around a different, environment where they praying and they learning Spanish and it's structured and all of this. And he been there since preschool 3. He going to 8th grade next year. Now we pay full tuition. Been paying full tuition for years now. But we started on faith. Sacrificing for our kids. And a lot of parents say, no, I ain't finna do that. I ain't finna spend that extra money for my child to be in a smaller classroom size, getting focused attention. That don't matter. Focused attention, smaller classroom size. I don't care if my child in the class with 45 other kids. Why am I spend an extra $100, $200 a month on financial aid for my child to be in a class with 15 kids so he could get personal attention from the teacher? I ain't finna do that. And a lot of men, man, I ain't got that. Man, I can't do that. I ain't got that. No, I got to do what I got to do. I'm going to ask for this financial aid. If I got to work extra, beg and borrow, I'm going to do what I got to do. Not steal, but beg and borrow, I'm going to do what I got to do. Credit card, get that money off that credit card, whatever I got to do. I'm finna make sure my child have every opportunity to live life to its fullest. So that when they grown, they say, look, I can't make any excuses because my parents were present. They were there. They made sacrifices, gave me what I needed. not just what I needed, some of what I wanted, and made sure I had every opportunity to be successful. So if you're a single dad, listen, that got to be your focus. A lot of time men always trying to bargain. I see a lot of men trying to bargain with the mama on what the child need. Oh, they don't need enough private school. Oh, they don't need be in all them sports. Oh, they don't need to be on no travel team. Or they don't need this kind of clothes. Or they don't need this kind of... Listen, give your child every single thing they need. Make it happen. You got to work 2 jobs. Make it happen. Because you brought that child in the world. It ain't about you. And so if you already know you ain't no good example because you can't be in the home, you can't be there on the daily, then at least do every single thing you can do to make their life easier. And it ain't got to be always sending the mama money. Let her work. Let her do what she got to do too. But it ain't got to be just sending her money. Yeah, you can send her money, but she ain't gonna mind if you send him or her. You send your child some shoes, send your child some clothes, send them the things that they need. In addition to the money you sending to help keep their lights on, to help keep their water on, to help keep the car note paid, the car insurance paid, the rent paid, mortgage paid, whatever it may be. That's where your child got to live at. You chose to lie down with that woman. That child didn't choose to morph inside of that woman's stomach. You chose to lie down with that woman and beat her ribs in and in her stomach and putting that child in her. You chose that. So now it's your job, it's your duty to make sure your child got everything that you possibly can afford to that child. And what you can't afford, if what you can't afford is a necessity, is something that's going to advance your child and help your child, work another job, increase your skills, get a new trade. Give your child the absolute best. If the public school system is amazing where they live, all right, cool, go ahead. They ain't got no good. Your child don't need a smaller class environment, a more structured environment. Your child don't need that. Okay, cool, all right, that's fine. That's your choice. But whatever it is, that's the best situation. And the best situation is not always the situation that costs money. It's not all the best situation, not always the most expensive situation. It's schools that's way more expensive than what we pay for our son's school. But my wife, she don't want to go to them schools because it's too, glitz and glam. It's too much going on. It's too much, and God ain't in there. It ain't no Bible studies, ain't no Bible class, ain't no praying. It's just a private school that costs a whole lot of money. It ain't about that. See, we want them in school the way you can pray in school. You can talk to the Lord in school. You're going to take Bible class. You're going to read the Bible. You're going to write what you learn about the Bible. You see what I mean? We want that in the education too. That means something to us. To each their own. But what you got to do is make sure you sacrificing for your children. The other thing, when you get your child, you got to realize that you are your child's example of manhood. You are your child's example of adulthood. You can't control what the mama do. You can't control what your child mama do. But you can control what you do, so you got to bring balance. Don't let mama be the only good one and then you sorry. Don't let the mama be sorry and then you sorry. You see what I mean? So your child come to you and then you introducing your child to another woman, but you don't even know if this woman really gonna be your woman. You don't even know, like, you ain't engaged to this woman. Your child don't care nothing about you getting engaged, you getting married. Your child really don't care, but they'll understand that as long as you really all the way locked in. But don't be introducing them the Jessica this week, and then Tamika next week, and then Ashley the next week, and then Lindsay the next week, and Jane the next week or the next month, and they meeting all these different women. Because when your child comes of age, your child gonna look back and say, "Wow, daddy was nasty. Daddy was using me. That was using me for my cuteness. The play on this woman motherly instincts. Had that woman cooking me food, that old salty food. Had that woman cooking me food. Had that woman put my socks on, right socks on my left foot. Woman, He was using me to play on her motherly instinct. Got this woman playing mama to me, and she ain't bit know what she was doing. Put mayonnaise on my toothbrush. I remember that one time. My son was at his mother-in-law house. She accidentally put his skin cream on his toothbrush. And that's what your girlfriend doing to your child. And then what you got to realize, this woman you dealing with, especially if you sleeping with her, and y'all unprotected, or if you were protected but you're not under a covenant, you're not married, this woman you sleeping with, if you in fornication, she in fornication, you don't know what kind of spirits that woman got on her. You don't know what kind of spirits that woman got. So you leaving your children with this other woman, especially if your child is under the age of 3. This woman, you don't know what she doing to your child. You don't know what she doing to your child. She changing your son. Where my pen at? She changing your son and his little thing sitting there. She in there doing like this to a little thing. Ooh, you about big as your daddy. You don't know what she doing to your child. Your daughter, she in there. Every time she braids your daughter's hair, she taking her scissors, cutting off. And she ain't taking a lot now. She just a little inch, braid it on up. Mama don't even know. You don't know that woman. You don't know that woman. She's sleeping with you. She needs you. She borrowing, begging from you. She trying to live off you. And if you living off her, then she definitely don't like your children, because she want to have her own family with you. You don't know that woman. So let me ask you, how well do you know this woman? And regardless of how well you think you know this woman, you should never leave your children with somebody other than your mama. If this person, you don't know this woman I don't care, you've been with her 5 years. That woman ain't got no reason like your children. The woman ain't got no reason like your children. Read about the women in the Bible. The women in the Bible, man. I think it was Sarah. When she finally had her child, she made the handmaid and her son leave. Get on up out of here. Get on up out of here. Hey, the one woman, I think one in the Bible, one woman stole a lady child. And they had to go before the king. He said, hey, let's cut the child in half. And one was, no, don't do that. Just let her have it. He said, all right, that's the mother of that child right there. That's the mother of that child. And you see what I mean? You don't know this woman. This woman thumping your baby in the head because your baby can't talk. The woman to grab your baby tongue, pulling on your baby tongue. Your baby crying. You left your baby because you go to work. You left your baby with this woman. The baby crying. This woman to stuff a sock in the baby mouth till the baby turn purple. You come home, the baby can't tell you that because you was sleeping with this woman that you don't even know. You don't know who touched this woman when she was growing up. You don't know who done put hands on her, who done dogged her out. You don't know what she done went through. You don't know half what she went through that she taking out on your children. I mean, you supposed to be their protection. You supposed to be there for them. You want your children on the weekend, then you be the one to keep them. Don't get your children on the weekend and then leave them with your mama. Cause I understand sometimes you got to do stuff, but clear out your weekend. If you can't clear your weekend, then let them stay with their mama where they safe at. So that you just get them for your ego. Say, hey, go on stay with your mama. I got something to do this weekend. Now, their mama might get mad because she want her little break, which is sad. We be wanting a little break from our own kid. Boy, that's sad. But I'm trying to tell you what happened one time with my mother-in-law. She ain't mean no harm. It was a white tube. She really wasn't paying attention. Getting up in age, a white tube, accidentally sitting up there on the counter, accidentally put the little white tube on the toothbrush, and that was skin cream. You see what I'm saying? Stuff like that be happening. Stuff like that happen with your mama, with your auntie, with your grandma. So when you bring a woman, this strange woman that you can't even fully trust her. You don't even know all her motives yet because you weren't raised to learn women. You don't know nothing about no women. That's how you slept with this woman and it didn't work out, because you got to admit to yourself, I don't know what I'm doing. Admit to yourself as a man, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just around here willy-nilly, just slanging, just sleeping with these women and really don't know what a real man is, what a real woman is, what a healthy marriage is, and really what I'm looking for. So why you gonna leave your children with a woman that you still trying to understand? You see what I mean? And then now they mama is fire hot because she don't know this woman. So now she fire hot. Now she in my email going off. Now I got to be on the phone with her dealing with what you doing. And you doing it really just to make her mad because you got a soul tie with her. So deep down you still got love for her, but you know y'all can't work out, y'all can't be together. So you go out and do what you want to do to make her mad. Guess what? Eventually this baby pick up on this. Eventually your child get old enough to see the games that you playing. And now you making your child sick to her stomach. Or sick to his stomach. Getting fed up with you. Getting fed up with you. Getting ready to tell you about yourself. I know I got a homeboy that he didn't have to go to jail, but his mom was dating this man. Man went and put hands on their mama and shot the man 6 times. Shot the man 6 times. Can't blame him. Police ain't blame him. They let him off. They let him off. He didn't have to go to prison. He ended up doing prison later, 10 years for robbery. But that's what happened. It's a lot of young men that done whoop their daddy behind. Messing around with your mama. Don't mess around and have no son and be doing wrong, cause you'll have to kill him or he gonna kill you. You don't want to kill your son, so you got to take that whooping like a man. And he gonna outgrow you. He gonna outgrow you. 16, 17 gonna outgrow you. He ain't gonna kill your son. Son gonna wear your behind out for cussing his mama out. You see what I'm saying? Hey, you don't want that. Why want that bad blood? You don't want that bad blood with your kid. You don't want your daughter. She can't fight you. She ain't gonna fight you like your son will. But your daughter, you don't want your daughter telling you, you know what, Dad, I hate you. I hate you. You are a sorry excuse of a man, and I wish I never was born as your daughter. If you died today, I would not shed a tear. Don't ever call me again. I want you to feel that. Double tap the screen right there. And when you double tap that arrow 2 times, it's going to go back 10 seconds. I want you to feel that. I want you to feel that. And that's what you want your child to say to you when your child's 16 years old. Because of the man that you done been. Come on now. Come on now. You don't want that. You ain't going to never live that down. You ain't going to ever live that down. You don't want that. So guess what? You got to grow as a man. You got to put your children first. It ain't about this new woman. All right, my child got a game. I got to be there. All right, my child got this here going on. I got to be there. All right, I know your rent due, but my child tuition due for school. My child sports fee due. So listen, I got to pay this right here for my child. Hey, I understand your car acting up and we together, and I love you. I absolutely do love you. But you got to realize when you got with me, you got with a man with children. Now, my child car done broke down. It ain't his car, it's his mama car or her mama car, but their car broke down. So now my child can't get to school, so I got to take care of that car. See, a lot of men don't think like that. You ain't thinking like that. No. You ain't taking care of your ex-girlfriend car, you taking care of your child car. You ain't keeping your ex-girlfriend lights on, you keeping your child lights on. Now see, and this is the thing, this your child. And I say this the other way too. I say this the other way too. But see, this is the thing. When I'm talking to one side, they say, oh, what about the other side? I say the same thing to the other side. When I'm talking to the other side, they say, oh, what about the other side? So listen, I'm telling you as a man, that's 100% your child. I tell the woman, that's 100% your child. So as I tell the woman, listen, if you got to work 2-3 jobs to keep your lights on, keep your water on, do what you got to do. If you need to work from home 18 hours a day doing customer service, you doing customer service for India. Indians calling you, and you helping them out. In America, you doing Indian customer service in the middle of the night because you don't want no nanny to be over there breaking your child leg. We have a friend or family who baby was with the nanny, came back, baby leg was broke. Baby broke the leg. Now, how did baby broke the leg? Come on now. Nanny probably said the baby fell off the bed. Nanny probably said, we don't know what that nanny did. That nanny put a club to that leg. You see what I'm saying? You don't never know what happened. You really don't know what happened. You ain't got nanny cam. So you might be, I tell the woman, look, if you got to work from home because you don't want no nanny over there doing something to your child, all right, do what you got to do. It's plenty of work from home jobs. $10 an hour to $17 an hour. Right now, if you at home, you out of work, unemployment, the unemployment, processing the unemployment claim, they hiring right now because there's so many people unemployed that they need people to answer them phones. You work right from home. It's so many things you could do. Take care of your child. Now, see, that's what I tell the woman. I tell the woman, look, you got on your back. You got on your back. That's 100% your child. Don't be waiting on that man to do anything because that's your child. You had that child. So if he is a deadbeat, that child on you because you laid down for that child. And that's what I'm telling you as a man. You laid down for that child. So if the mom is a deadbeat, that child on you. Their mom want to go to the strip club, want to throw her ones, but the lights cut off, you go over there, they electricity out. Look, guess what? You got to cut that electricity on. You tired of cutting that electricity on? All right, what you got to do? Get your family attorney. Get your family attorney. Get your private investigator. Get the pictures of the mama in the strip club. Get the picture of the mama in the strip club. Get the picture of the mama in the Gucci store. With that private investigator, take them pictures right down to the judge. Listen, she unfit. She is unfit. I keep having to pay all the bills. I'm paying all the lights. I'm paying all the water. I'm paying the rent. And she is not working. The judge gonna say, ma'am, you got to get a job. And until you get a job, I'm giving full custody to him. Listen, do what you got to do for your child. If you married you slept with a deadbeat woman, do what you got to do for your child, to get your child. And if you can't get your child, then, hey, bite the bullet and make sure your child got lights, got water, got clothes, got transportation, point blank period. Because guess what? That's on you. When you stand before God, He's not going to say, well, what did your child's mother do for your child? He ain't going to ask you that. What did you do for the child you brought into the world when you was in sin, fornicating? What did you do for the child that you brought into the world when you was married and then got a divorce because you was cheating or because she was cheating? What did you do for your child? Oh, okay. All right, let me look back over my records. That's what the Lord telling you. Let me look back over my records. Hold on. Let me look back over my records. All right, okay, I see. All right, this is where the divorce happened right here. Okay, all right. Now what I see is you went to another woman. All right here. Okay, February 6th, I got you with another woman, and she have 3 kids. All right, I see you paying rent over here, but your child on an eviction notice. But you helping pay this. You help pay this woman rent, and she got 3 kids from 3 other men. How you gonna explain that to me? I know who she is. I made her. I created her. I know she pretty. I know. Wet as Aquafina. So because of that, you telling me you taking care of her kids and letting they baby daddy be deadbeats, and you got your child sitting in the dark, lighting the candle, praying to me. Now I got to take and move on your behalf because you want to be a sorry man. This what the Lord saying to you when you meet the Lord. Listen to me now. Listen to me now. You can't be playing out here, man. Come on. It's on you. See, for me, it's like this right here. It's like this right here. The way I parent my children, they're going to have everything, but they're going to have discipline. My son, yes, sir, no, sir. My sons ain't never had no temper tantrum. You feeling a type of way? Express it to me. Let's talk this out. How you feeling? What's going on? They ain't got to feel no type of way because everything we do fair. We ain't taking our pain out on our children. My son right now, my 6-year-old, he playing his Switch. He like to play Overwatch. But guess what? When he get done doing that, he got to read. He got to do a workbook. He got to study. My oldest son, he's sleeping in. He like to sleep in. When he get up, he got to read. He got to study. Then he got to train. He got training tonight at 6 o'clock. It's like CrossFit training. They got balance. You get to play your game. You got to train for your sport, and you got to train for the classroom. Yes, sir, no, sir. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Have anything you want. Xbox, all A, straight A's, no A minus on the report card. Here go $1,000. I just gave my son $1,000 because you know why I did that? Because I'm rewarding him like life gonna reward him. A lot of times parents say, "Oh, I ain't gonna reward you for something you ought to be doing," but then you turn around and you want to be rewarded for something you doing. You want 2 weeks vacation for working a job when you supposed to be working a job. You want a reward for doing what you supposed to be doing. You want to treat yourself, get you something nice, get you something designer because you work hard, but then you don't want to give your child no financial incentive when they get straight A's. Talking about, oh, that's what they supposed to do. I ain't gonna pay them for straight A's. You got to pay them for straight A's because that's what the world gonna do. The world gonna pay you for straight A's. What I mean by that is because I work hard, because I dedicate myself, because I'm diligent, I'm rewarded. I'm rewarded by life. That's the way the world works. So I teach my sons that when you do right, you get right. When you do wrong, you get wrong. I teach them that they got balance. We went to Europe. 6 weeks. 6-week vacation. Took my son 8 different countries, 20 different cities. Let them see that. Let them smell that air. Let them try to talk English to somebody that only talk Italian. Oh yeah, and try to understand each other. You got to talk to somebody that don't even speak your language, and you got to place an order on this here food. How you gonna do it? Let them see that. Let them live in the inner city, in the apartments, in the condos of Paris, over there, in Italy. Let them eat that food over there. Let them ride them windy roads. Let them see all of that over there. Let them ride the Eurostar. From one place to another place. Take them out of America. Let them see something else. Boy, I had to use every credit card. Boy, they were cussing up a storm. Had to use every credit card known to man. But you know what? I only get one life to live. I can't wait to live. I could be gone tomorrow. It could be a grown boy want to jump froggy with me. And I got to go sit down in prison for sending him to meet the Lord. For ending his life. My sons, tomorrow ain't problem. I can't wait to live. Son, let me show y'all this right here. Let me sacrifice. Guess what? God made a way. Because see, when you do right, God honor you. Yeah, I had to max out them credit cards. You know what? Them credit cards paid off. Nah. Because the Lord moved. He blessed. Because he know my heart. I wasn't over there in Europe tricking off. I wasn't in Europe tricking off for the ground so I could get other women. I was over there exposing my children. Sowing into their life. I ain't afraid to go in debt for my children because that's my responsibility. So God say, hey, I got you. I got you. I got blessings coming on high because I see your heart behind your actions. See, you ain't doing this so you could stunt on Instagram to get women. No, you doing this because you trying to better your legacy. You trying to change. You trying to break generational curses. Your parents never took you out the country. So that's why you taking your kids out the country. You never had a passport. That's why your kid got a passport at 6 months old. See, you breaking generational traditions that don't serve you. You breaking generational shortcomings or generational all this here. You see what I mean? All kind of generationals. Everyone you could think of. That's what the Lord see me doing. So guess what he do? He honors that. He honors that. So I honor my wife. I honor my wife because she is their mother. So even if you're not with the mother of your children, treat that woman like a queen. Treat her like a queen. And what I mean by that is, hey, how are you? How's everything going? Okay, all right. Swallow your pride. Swallow your ego. When your kids, make sure that she confused. Make sure that she like, hey, why we broke up again? Hey, but that man done grew. Man, he done grew. She'll be able to, oh, he's sexy. Boy, I wish I could get him back. But if y'all ain't a fit, okay, you going about your life, but you do so cordially. You do so respectfully. You shouldn't be cussing her out because when you cuss out your child mama, guess what? She hang up the phone and she crying. Now your son, your daughter, mommy, what's wrong? Mommy, you were just on the phone with daddy. Now you're crying. What's wrong? That's on you, playboy. Now your child holding that against you. Now that's a strike against you because your ego in the way. Because you want to yell and cuss and scream because you hurting. I understand you hurting, but you a man. You the man. You the head. So you got to suffer the wrong. You got to suffer the wrong. You got to suffer long. You got to be the bigger person because it's on you. It's on the man. God called you. He made you the head. So he made you the head. You made a mistake. You made bad choices. Now trying to make up for those bad choices. Now trying to do what's right. You got to sacrifice. You got to grind. You got to humble yourself. You got to work. You got to get outside of your comfort zone. That's what you got to do. You got to be a better man because your lineage is dependent on you. Your legacy is up to you. Your children is looking up to you. You determine their lifestyle, their quality of life based on how you live. When you get your kids, listen, this about your kids. You get your kids, their mama won't let you take them to Mexico, won't let you take them to whoever, London. All right, let her go too. Let her go. If you're in a new relationship, let her go too. Let her go too, because she knows what she's getting into. Hey, the mom not comfortable with them being over there. She gonna be in her own hotel room. They can stay with her. I just want to make sure they see other parts of the world. Guess what? If you can see other parts of the world at other times, you book the trip. Talk to the mama. Hey, get y'all passports. I'll pay for the passports. I want you to take them over there. It'll be time, just you and them. And then when they get old enough, hopefully you'll trust me with them. I'll take them. I'm gonna send y'all to London. Me and then we're gonna go to Montreal, Canada. But hey, let's work this thing out. And you talk to her with respect. You talk to her. What you got to realize is that when you done slept with a woman, you done had kids with her, she got a soul tie with you. She always gonna have a soul tie with you. So that soul tie is never going anywhere. That soul tie cannot be broken because y'all got kids. So what that mean is you'll always have a place in her heart if you respectful. If you talk to her like a human being, like a woman, you talk to her like a queen with respect. How you gonna talk to the queen? How you gonna talk to Queen Elizabeth? That's how you need to talk to your children's mother. You ain't gonna yell at Queen Elizabeth. I don't even know if that's a real queen. It just sound right. You ain't gonna yell at Queen Elizabeth. You ain't gonna cuss out. You gonna talk to her with respect. Hi, how are you? Oh, great to meet you. I'm doing great. Yeah, how's everything going with the children? Okay, great. That's good to hear. All right. Everything good with you? Okay, great. All right. So what do I need? How can I help? Let me know. That's how you need to do it. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's a stretch. Yeah, but guess what? It's on you. It's on you. I can't hear your excuses, bro, because you slept with her. You slept with her. She was good enough for you to sleep with unprotected. You could have caught HIV. You could have caught HIV. You hear me? That thing could have. You risk your life. All right? Now you got kids. I don't hear no excuses. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Protect your children. Make sure they got what they need. Everything they need. Make sure they got what they want. As long as they doing what they need to be doing, make sure they got what they want. Make sure that they see the world. Make sure they have opportunities. My son plays soccer. He want to play in pro. Guess what I did? The reason why we went to Europe is because it's a camp that take kids over to Europe to play against the Europe competition. That's what took us over there. But I was so stressed that thing was costing me so much money. But guess what? That's something my son ain't gonna never forget. He was 11, 12 years old. He'll never forget that. Never forget that. So whenever the Lord take me home, whenever the Lord call me home, when my work is done and the Lord call me home, my son gonna be able to look back over their life and say, ain't nothing that man didn't do for me. Ain't nothing that man didn't do for me. You hear me? That was a man. My wife told me the other day, she said, your son said he named his son Tony Gaskin IV. My son, Tony Gaskin III. She said, your son said he named his son Tony Gaskin IV. I said, what? I said, he said that? He said, yeah. He said he got to keep it going. My son 13. He done already made the decision. I ain't make that decision until I was grown. When my son was on the way, I decided I was going to make him Tony Gaskin. I ain't made that decision that early. I hadn't even really thought about that yet. My son 13, but you know why? My son just wrote me a Father's Day card. He wrote me a Father's Day card. My son don't go to the store and buy a card. He hand make them. He hand make them. Man, I got to get all this video because I'm about to break down crying. Man, my son wrote me a card. I was reading that card. My son broke down crying while I was reading that card. He broke down crying. He was boohoo crying. He was boohoo crying. Telling me how much I mean to him, how much he loved me. And you know why? Cause I'm about that life. I'm about that. Being a father. I don't want him to be able to look and see another father better than me. I don't want him to see another child that got an advantage that he don't got. If I can find a way to give him that same opportunity. You're not gonna outfather me. That's my goal. That's my thing as a man. You're not gonna outfather me. You're not gonna outhusband me. When you meet me, you gotta run for your money on being a father and being a husband. Point blank period. And that's what I want every man to get in your spirit, that you need to make up in your mind. Like, look, you ain't in the NBA, you ain't in the NFL. If you is, all right, be the absolute best at it. But you ain't that. You ain't no billionaire. If you is, God bless you, send me a little something. You ain't no billionaire. But what are you? A father. Be the absolute best father you can be. If you're a husband, be the absolute. I want to be the Michael Jordan of husbandry. Not like how he was as a husband. I'm talking about the way he was as a basketball player. I want to be the Michael Jordan of husbandry. I want to be the who else great? Muhammad Ali of fatherry. You hear me? I don't even know what you call it. Fatherhood. Coming up with words today, because that's what it means to me. And so I want you to think about this thing and really get this in your spirit and come up inside of yourself to say, this is what I'm finna be. This is what I'm finna do. I'm finna make this thing happen. It ain't about her. It ain't about my ex. It ain't about my next. It's about my kids that I laid down to bring into this world. Because I want them at my funeral. I want them to have something good to say. Because that's my legacy. Hey, this is Tony Gaston. God bless you. Hey, from one man to another, from my heart to your heart, please take this here with love. You know, I don't always know how to say everything the right way, but understand it come from a pure place. And listen to it 2-3 times. Listen to it on your drives to work, drive home, going to sleep. You know, really get in your spirit, man. And wherever you feel convicted at, wherever you want to make excuses at, wherever you want to blame that other woman, wherever you want to argue about that other woman, you know, their mama, wherever you want to do that, hey, let all that go. And just say, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. It's on you. Regardless of what else ever going on, it's on you. It's on you. Accept all responsibility. That's manhood. Accepting all responsibility, it's on you. Hey, this is Tony Gaston. God bless you.